Good morning, everybody, and back to my 10-minute testimonies. I'm on volume 7. I left off, I was in the county jail after eating a quarter of crystals, losing my mind for about a month or so, and finally getting it back. Mom ended up bonding me out. So, first thing I did when I got bonded out, I headed over to my other house where I kept my stuff. The dude that I was selling for wouldn't even talk to me. He acted like I was telling on somebody, but that just ain't me. And so I headed over. I walked straight over to my other house. It's a couple miles down the road. And a bunch of my stuff was missing, but I mean, that's kind of a given. And I wasn't really too worried about it at that point. I actually started working for the dude I had the room with for a couple of days. I got some videos of it too. I'll have to put them on here and show you how retarded I was. But right back to getting high again. Had to start over again, start hustling off my name, get up some money so I could go get something and then keep flipping it and get back. So I went through a whole crazy stage where I met some chick from Orlando and moved up to her house. It was one of the weirdest experiences in my whole life. She used to do crack, and she got introduced to the crystals when she was over at the house I had a room at, and that's where I met her. But I ended up, last time I seen her, I jumped out of the car on the side of I-4 and Kissimmee and started, right in between Kissimmee and Polk County, and started walking back home trying to find a ride. Lost my money too. I don't know what happened to it, but I was done. And then to get back at me, she went after my best friend, and she hooked, line, and sinkered him, and we fell out for a long time over this. I told him to have fun with her, and he just took it to another level, but it was all right. And then she ends up robbing him while he's sleeping. And I got one of her phones that he watched her rob him on one of her on message apps. I just can't make this stuff up. But so after this time, I met a new girl, and I met her at my buddy's house who just got out of prison. He just did like 5 years or something. He was always a dope boy. And in fact, he was the one I was going to drop the money off to when I seen the police in the front yard in one of my earlier videos. But I gave him his Polk County starter kit. I gave him a flashlight, a knife, and a baby monitor with a camera on it. You see a guy fresh out just start getting high with a baby monitor, you never see nothing so funny in your life. But that's my dog. I love him. I can't wait till he gets out. I hope I get to see him. But I met this chick over at his house, and I didn't know it. I met her. I mean, I knew her from middle school, but she hadn't got high in a long time. But hell, she's at the dope man's house, and I come down there and started smoking and got her high. And then next thing you know, she was on the streets, living out of her car, and couldn't see her kids. So she ended up moving in with me at my mom's house, and her paranoia got so bad that I quit selling dope. I literally divvied up my customers between my two homeboys and tried to step out of it. I threw my pistol away, everything, because she was so paranoid. It was crazy. And I never took the dope out of the situation, so things progressed with her and her mental health, and she ended up getting Baker acted once, twice, I think. While we were dating, I went and seen her and supported her through it, and I knew she was just a good person, you know what I mean? Just the dope had her mind twisted. So one day when we're fighting, I'm tattooing my arm. I'm covering up one of my tattoos about my ex, because I was like just trying to erase my past. I didn't want to think about it no more. So I'm covering it up, and she told me, she said, the amount of pain it takes somebody to do that to themselves is horrible. And I was like, I need a different kind of pain, is what I told her. So then, next thing I know, I'm doing laundry. I walk outside, and she comes up to me. She was in the bathroom for a while. I thought she was taking a shower. And she comes up to me, and she says, "Hold me. It's the end is near." And I'm like, "What the heck are you talking about?" And she's like, "I took all my pills to set you free. It's going to save you, and this and that." And I'm like, "Excuse me?" And I told her I cussed her out. I told her, I said, "If you didn't want to be with me, all you got to do is leave. You ain't got to do nothing stupid like this." And she was like, "Call 911, call 911." And I told her, I said, "I never called the police a day in my life." And I handed her the phone. I said, "You call 911. And she did. And I didn't even know that the phone was on, and it was on with the dispatch, I guess. And I'm telling her, I'm like, "You not only killed yourself, now you got me and my mom, because I'm going to take myself out, and then my mom's going to be unalive because of it." You know what I mean? So I'm like, "You got a 3-for-1. And I looked at the phone, and I seen that it was on the phone with the police. But I think if I'd have handled it any other way, if I'd have just held her, she probably would have died. You know? But then I seen the police. I was so scared of going back to jail. I knew they were going to bank rack me. I've had it happen before. And I shouted out the address and told them where it was at, and then I took off running. And then I watched from a distance. I made sure they got her in the ambulance, and I snuck back around to the house, and I took a shower and got ready to go and called my buddy up to come get me. My mom and dad didn't know what was going on, you know, and I told Mom I had to go because the cops were probably going to be looking for me, and had my buddy pick me up, and we took off. And next thing you know, I'm picking her up from the mental hospital out there off 417 in her car and taking her back home. And we just went through round and round and round on stuff because of the dope, and we finally broke up. And she had kind of restored a little bit of my faith back in Jesus, and had me watching some Steve Furtick and stuff, and I was like, okay, you know. And when we broke up and everything was done and over with, I told her, I was like, "You killed my faith." I got rid of all my crosses I had collected. I put it in her stuff so she could have it. And I said I had one customer left, and I called my buddy up and told him I needed two onions, and I'm going to call this dude from Daytona to come get it. So he come and he gave me those, and I'm sitting at the house. In fact, it was June 5th, 2019, the day before my parents' anniversary, which June 5th is just in a couple days. It's crazy. But buddy stopped by to get something from me because he was falling asleep, and he had this rental truck, and he had this chick with him, and I'm like, "Bro, you're going to kill somebody if you don't wake up." So I never drove because I didn't have a license. I said, "You want me to drive?" So we went out to the place, and I dropped off some money to dude, and we were going to take a generator to his mom's house. Well, homeboys wanted for freaking conspiracy and polk. I think I did know it. I can't say that. But we pull into his mom's trailer park in Kissimmee, and there's police waiting for us. Apparently they never turned this rental truck back in, so now I'm driving a stolen truck, and I didn't know it was stolen. And I had just rolled a blunt, and I had it in my hands when I pulled into the driveway, and here come the cops. I put my hand behind my head, dropped the blunt behind me. They patted me down and put me in the police car. He grabbed my backpack and threw it in the back of the truck, and there's a freaking pistol in the door. And he takes off running into the house. The girl's in the back seat, and they put me in the back seat, and I said, "I got an idea for you," and I started faking an overdose to try and get this 2 ounces off of me. I went into the hospital for 4 days, and that's this 10 minutes. It gets kind of crazy. I love y'all. Thanks for listening. Jesus saves. He saved me. He can save anybody. Stay tuned for the next installment. I've done so much stupid stuff in my life. I should not be here. And I should not be blessed as much as I am. Thank you, Jesus. I love y'all.